Sometimes, life feels heavy, and we start to feel like we are carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. There are moments when things go wrong, and we wonder why. We ask ourselves questions like, why me? Or where is God in all of this? These questions are natural when we face struggles. It can feel like we are walking through life alone, with no one to help us understand the pain we feel. But I want to tell you something important. You're not alone. There is a plan, and even when you can't see it, God is with you, working behind the scenes. We all experience pain in life, whether it is the loss of someone we love, the end of a relationship, or the disappointment of dreams that seem out of reach. Sometimes we smile in front of others and pretend to be fine, but deep down, we are hurting. At night, when we are alone, that pain becomes louder. The silence can make us feel even more alone, and we might start to believe that God has forgotten about us. But here is the truth: God never forgets. Even in the darkest times, He is always there, working on your behalf. Sometimes, God doesn't answer our prayers immediately because He is doing something bigger than what we can see. Have you ever felt like you were building something, maybe a relationship, a dream, or a plan, but everything just fell apart? It can feel like failure, and you might think that God is punishing you, but in reality, He is protecting you. When things fall apart, it is often because God is saving you from something that would hurt you later on. You might be chasing people who don't truly care about you, or trying to hold on to something that was never meant for you. God sees what we cannot see, and He removes what isn't good for us. God's silence doesn't mean He's abandoned you. In fact, it's often in these quiet moments that He is doing His deepest work in you. While you may feel like nothing is happening, God is preparing you for something greater. The struggles you're facing are not the end. They are part of the process of becoming the person you are always meant to be. Think of it like a seed that's planted in the ground. At first, you don't see anything happening above the soil. But beneath the surface, the roots are growing, and soon, the seed will break through the soil and start to grow into something beautiful. Your life is like that. You may not see the changes now, but something powerful is happening inside you. You might be asking, why does God allow us to go through so much pain? The answer is that God doesn't want to hurt you. He wants to build you up. He allows pain because it is through pain that we grow stronger. Without challenges, we wouldn't learn to rely on Him. The pain you feel now is not for nothing. It is shaping you into the person you need to be for what is coming. You are not being punished. You are being prepared for something bigger. Trust that the difficulties you're facing are part of God's plan for you. It's important to remember that you don't need to understand everything right now. Life doesn't always make sense, but that's where faith comes in. Faith means trusting in God, even when you don't have all the answers. It means believing that He is working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. Just because you can't hear Him doesn't mean He isn't speaking. God is working in the silence. His plan is unfolding step by step, and sometimes you just need to trust that He knows what He's doing. When you feel lost or broken, remember that God is closer than you think. He hasn't forgotten you, and He will never leave you. Even when you don't feel His presence, He is there, quietly guiding you. The struggles you're facing now are preparing you for the future He has planned for you. Trust the process. It may not be easy, but it's leading you to something better. And one day, when you look back, you will see how every pain, every struggle, every moment of doubt was part of the beautiful plan God had for you all along. So, the next time you find yourself wondering where God is, remember that He is right there with you. He is working, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Trust that His plan is greater than anything you can imagine. And know that, even in the silence, He is preparing you for something wonderful. You are not alone. You never have been, and you never will be. Keep going, keep trusting, and know that God is with you every step of the way. In life, we all face moments when things don't go as planned. It's hard to keep going when it feels like everything you've worked for is slipping away. You've put in your best effort, tried your hardest, and prayed for success. But still, things seem to fall apart. Maybe you've lost a relationship, missed an opportunity, or faced failure in a way that left you feeling empty and hopeless. It's easy to feel discouraged when life doesn't seem fair. It's easy to wonder, why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? These feelings are natural when we go through tough times. We can feel like we've done everything right, but nothing works out. And when we are in those moments, it's easy to believe that we have failed. But here's something important to remember. Failure does not mean you are not worthy. Just because things didn't go as planned does not mean you're a failure. Sometimes, what we think is failure is actually a redirection. Sometimes, God's plan is different from our own, and He is leading us away from things that may not be good for us. We may not understand why things didn't work out, but trust that there's a reason for every setback. Think about it this way: when we pray for something, we ask God for certain outcomes. We ask for a specific job, relationship, or situation. But sometimes, the things we ask for are not meant for us. And when they don't happen, we feel hurt and confused. It feels like God is ignoring us, or even punishing us. But what we don't see is that sometimes, unanswered prayers are actually God's way of protecting us. When we don't get what we want, it doesn't mean we are being punished, it means we are being protected. The relationship you lost might have been painful, but it could have caused you even more pain in the future. The job you didn't get might have been a path leading to unhappiness, or the opportunity that fell through might have been a distraction from what God really has planned for you. In the moments when things don't go as we expect, it can be hard to see it this way. We want answers, and we want things to change right away. But God's silence is not abandonment, it's preparation. Even when we feel like we are stuck and nothing is moving forward, God is still working behind the scenes. He's working in the background, getting everything ready for what's coming next. The delay you feel now is not a punishment. It is God's way of preparing you for something better. During these moments of discouragement, it's important to remember that God has not forgotten you. It may feel like you're alone or that no one understands what you're going through, but God sees you. He knows your pain, and He is with you even when you can't feel His presence. When you face setbacks, remember that it is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign that God is protecting you. He's removing what is not meant for you, even if it hurts in the moment. He's making room for something greater. So, what should you do when life doesn't go your way? First, remember that you are not a failure. The fact that things didn't work out doesn't mean you are not worthy of good things. It just means that something better is on its way. Trust that God is working on your behalf, even if you can't see it yet. The pain you are feeling now is part of the process, and it will make you stronger. The rejection, the disappointment, and the setbacks are not in vain. They are preparing you for what is coming next. Second, do not give up. Keep moving forward, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Sometimes, progress is slow, and we don't always see the results right away. But that doesn't mean God isn't working. He's building you from the inside out. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are, but trust that they are happening for a reason. Keep trusting in God's plan and know that, in time, everything will make sense. When you feel discouraged, remember that God is not punishing you. He's protecting you and preparing you for something bigger. The waiting may feel hard, but it's not wasted time. It's time for you to grow stronger, wiser, and more patient. Keep your faith strong, and don't let setbacks make you lose hope. Trust that God has a better plan for you, and that plan will unfold at the right time. Your story is not over. What you see as a setback today is just a step in the journey towards something better. So, when life gets tough, don't give up. Keep going, even when you feel like you can't. God is still with you, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. And in the end, you will see that every setback, every rejection, and every moment of doubt was a part of the bigger picture God had for you all along. Keep trusting, keep moving forward, and know that God is preparing something great for you. The future can be a scary place. We often look ahead and feel uncertain, wondering what will happen next. It's easy to feel lost or unsure when we don't know the path we're supposed to take. We may feel confused about where our life is going, and sometimes it seems like everything is out of our control. In these moments, we might ask, what should I do next? Or how can I trust God when I don't know what's coming? These feelings are normal, But there is something important to remember. Even when you can't see the road ahead, God has a plan for you. When you don't know what's next, it's easy to feel anxious or afraid of what the future holds. You might want to have all the answers right away, but that's not how life works. God doesn't always show us the full picture right away, and that can be difficult. We want to know what the next step is, and sometimes we feel like we're stuck in the dark, waiting for a sign. But trust that this uncertainty is part of God's plan. It's not about knowing everything. It's about trusting that God knows what's best for you, even when you don't have all the answers. Think of it like planting a tree. When a tree is first planted, you don't see anything happening above the ground. The roots are growing deep into the earth, and no one can see it. For weeks, months, or even longer, there may be no sign of growth above the soil. But underneath, the tree is preparing to grow strong and tall. Eventually, the tree will break through the ground, and you'll see it start to grow. Your life is like that tree. Right now, it may feel like nothing is happening, but deep down, God is building your foundation. He's preparing you for the future, even if you can't see it yet. The truth is, life is full of unknowns. We can't control everything that happens, and we don't always know what the future holds, but we can trust God with our future. God knows what's best for us, even when we don't understand why things are happening the way they are. Instead of focusing on the unknown, we can focus on trusting Him. Trusting God means believing that He will guide us, even when the path seems unclear. It's about having faith that He's leading us to where we need to be, even when we can't see the end of the journey. It's important to remember that trusting God doesn't mean everything will be easy. There will still be challenges along the way. There will be moments of doubt and fear, but that's okay. Trusting God is not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to take the next step, even when we don't know exactly where it will lead. Sometimes, we may feel like we're walking in the dark, but God is with us every step of the way, helping us find our way forward. When you don't know what's next, take it one step at a time. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. Just trust that God will guide you through each moment. It's okay to feel uncertain, but don't let that uncertainty stop you from moving forward. Each small step you take brings you closer to where God wants you to be. And as you trust Him, you will begin to see that He has been guiding you all along. One of the hardest things to do is let go of our need for control. We want to make our own plans and decide what will happen next, but the truth is, we can't control the future. It's important to learn to surrender to God and trust that He knows what's best. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the need to have everything figured out and trusting that God will lead us in the right direction. When we let go of our need to control everything, we can find peace in the uncertainty. Instead of worrying about what might happen, we can focus on trusting God's timing. His plan for us is better than anything we could plan on our own, and we can trust that He is preparing us for the future He has for us. Even when things don't go as we expect, we can trust that God is working behind the scenes, shaping our lives for something greater. You may not know what the future holds, and that's okay. Trusting God doesn't mean having all the answers. It means believing that He is with you, even when you can't see the full picture. Life is full of twists and turns, and sometimes we don't know where the road is leading. But as we trust God, we can have faith that He is leading us to something beautiful. The unknown doesn't have to be scary when we trust that God is in control. So, when you feel uncertain about the future, remember that you don't need to have all the answers. Trust God with the next step, and He will guide you. The road may not always be clear, but if you trust in God's plan, you will find peace in the journey. You don't need to know everything right now. Just take it one step at a time, and trust that God is leading you to where you need to be. He's preparing you for something greater than you can imagine, and the future He has for you is full of hope. In the story, the character began with feelings of doubt, confusion, and fear about the future. She faced setbacks, heartbreak, and rejection, which made her question her worth and the purpose of her struggles. She found herself at a crossroads, unsure of what to do next. At times, the silence from God made her feel abandoned, as if her prayers were unheard. But through her journey, she learned something profound. The pain and uncertainty she experienced were part of a much larger plan that she could not see at that moment. With time, she realized that her setbacks were not failures, but instead, they were guiding her to something greater. The character learned to trust in God's timing, even when everything seemed unclear. The struggle she faced, the doors that were closed, and the dreams that did not come true were not punishments, but preparations. She discovered that God's plan for her was far better than anything she could have imagined. Each moment of silence, each rejection, and each disappointment was a step in her transformation, leading her to a deeper understanding of herself and her purpose. She learned that sometimes, the things we think we want are not what we truly need, and that trust in God's plan is the key to finding peace amidst uncertainty. This story teaches us that it's okay to feel lost or confused at times. Life doesn't always go as we expect, and the road ahead may not always be clear. But the important lesson here is to trust the process. Even when things seem to be falling apart, know that they are being rearranged in a way that is for your highest good. Don't be afraid of uncertainty, because sometimes it's in the unknown where we grow the most. Be patient with yourself. Trust that things will fall into place when the time is right, and know that you are not alone in your struggles. As we move forward in life, we should remember that setbacks are often setups for something better. Just because you don't see the results right away doesn't mean they aren't coming. Every step you take, even when it feels like you're not making progress, is moving you closer to where you need to be. Keep trusting, keep moving forward, and believe that God has a plan for you that is greater than what you can imagine. Lesson to apply to your life: trust in the journey, even when it doesn't make sense. Don't be afraid to face setbacks, because they may be leading you to something better. Trust God's timing and believe that everything happens for a reason. Congratulations on listening through the entire story. You've just improved your listening and understanding of English. Keep practicing, and you'll continue to get better and better. Now, here's a small quiz to interact with the channel. Which of the following statements is true? A. The character's setbacks were a sign of failure. B. The character's setbacks were a part of a larger plan leading to something better. Please leave your answer in the comments or B. If you enjoyed this story and learned from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support us. Your subscription gives us the motivation to keep making content like this. We also encourage you to donate to support the channel. In the beginning, it's tough to make quality content, but with your support, we can continue to bring you the best lessons to improve your English. Thank you for your time and support.